Yes, welcome back. I like to read this.
Canadair CL-415. CL-415/DHC-515 Role Aerial Firefighting Manufacturer Canadair Bombardier Aerospace de Havilland Canada First Flight 6 December 1993 Introduction 1994 Status Active Service Primary Users Vigili del Fuoco, Italy, Sécurité Civile, France, Hellenic Air Force, Greece. Quebec Service Aérien Gouvernemental Produce Eagle 415, 1993, 2015 DHC 515, 2022 Present number build 95, 1. Developed from Canadair CL-215. The Canadair CL-415, Super Scooper, 2, later Bombardier 415, and the de Havilland Canada DHC 515 are a series of amphibious aircraft built originally by Canadair and subsequently by Bombardier and Viking Air, and de Havilland Canada. The CL-415 is based on the Canadair CL-215 and designed specifically for aerial firefighting. It can perform various other roles, such as search and rescue and utility transport. Development of the CL-415 began in the early 1990s shortly after the success of the CL-215T. Retrofit program had proven a viable demand for a turboprop-powered model of the original CL-215. Entering production in 2003, in addition to its new engines, the aircraft featured numerous modernization efforts and advances over the CL-215, particularly in terms of its cockpit and aerodynamics, to yield improved performance. By the time the program's production phase had begun, it was owned by Bombardier, who continued production up until 2015. In October 2016, the CL-415 program was acquired by Viking Air, aiming to produce an updated CL-515-3, since renamed the DHC-515 Firefighter, and to be produced in Calgary, Alberta, by de Havilland Canada. 4. Development. Origins. Introduced during 1966. The CL-215 was the first aircraft specifically designed to be a water bomber. 5. A total of 125 aircraft were constructed prior to the final CL-215 being delivered during May 1990. 6. During 1987, in response to prevailing market trends towards more efficient, powerful and reliable turboprop power plants, Canadair undertook the task of retrofitting 17 CL-215 airframes with the Pratt & Whitney Canada PW123F engines. This engine provided a 15% power increase over the original piston engines, as well as enhanced reliability and safety. The retrofitted aircraft were designated CL-215T. 7. Speaking during the new model's development, company officials recognized that market demand for the CL-215T was marginal, and thus not enough to justify developing an all-new aircraft. 7. Despite this, it featured numerous enhancements, including the addition of powered flight controls, air conditioning in the cockpit, as well as various upgraded electrical and avionics systems. The most notable external features of the CL-215T retrofit were the aerodynamic additions to the wings and empennage. 6. Having conducted the relatively successful CL-215T program, the company decided to develop a further improved model of the aircraft CL-415, which would take form as a new build production series. On the 6th of December, 1993, the CL-415 conducted its maiden flight, while the first deliveries commenced during November 1994. 8. 1 year later, A 180-day sales tour traversing 21 countries commenced using a CL-415 owned by the Quebec government. 9. That same year, Bombardier stated that it was in the planning phase of a 6-point improvement plan for the CL-415, which was principally intended to diversify its capabilities. 10. 11. Orders for the type were promptly received from several countries, which included several lease and purchase arrangements. By July 1996, 37 examples were reportedly in service with operators in Canada, France, Italy, and Spain. 12. Starting in 1998, the CL-415 was being assembled at Bombardier Aerospace's facility near North Bay / Jack Garland Airport in North Bay, Ontario, and tested on Lake Nipissing. 13. During the 2010s, according to aerospace periodical Flight International, there was a downturn in sales of type. A total of 95 CL-415s had been completed when Bombardier closed down the production line in October 2015, although the company continued to actively market the type as well as to provide support for the existing fleet beyond this date. 14. Viking era. For several decades, Bombardier had experienced a period of significant expansion until encountering financial hardship during the 2010s, largely brought on by the very high costs involved in developing fixed-wing narrow-body airliner. 15. 16. The much smaller Viking aircraft started off as a component manufacturing specialist, which came to include the licensed production of parts of several of Bombardier's discontinued aircraft range, helping operators to keep them in service. 17. 18. During 2008, Bombardier and Viking Air reached an arrangement under which the former sold the design documents and all intellectual property rights of all out-of-production de Havilland aircraft from the DHC-1 Chipmunk through the DASH-750 passenger STL regional airliner to Viking. 19. 20. Its unit cost in 2014 was $36.9 million. 21. On the 20th of June, 2016, it was announced that Viking Air was in the process of purchasing the CL-415 type certificate from Bombardier, along with the older CL-215 and CL-215T models. 22. 23. 24. The acquisition was finalized on the 3rd of October 2016. 25. Shortly following the acquisition, Viking began work on the design of a modernized CL-515 version. 18. 26. During December 2018, a full-flight CL-415 simulator, capable of simulating water scoop and bombing operations, received European Aviation Safety Agency (EASA) certification. Prior to this, pilot training had typically involved live flying of the aircraft. 27. On the 21st of June, 2019, the Indonesian Ministry of Defense announced it was purchasing 6 CL-515s for delivery in 2024. 28. 29. On the 31st of March, 2022, Viking Air through de Havilland Canada renamed the CL-515 as the DHC-515, planning for production and final assembly in Calgary, Alberta, where the CL-215 and CL-415 are supported, with 22 letters of intent from European customers. 30. 31. Design. The CL-415 has an updated cockpit, aerodynamics enhancements and changes to the water release system as well, creating a modern firefighting amphibious flying boat for use in detecting and suppressing forest fires. Compared to the CL-215, the CL-415 has increased operating weight and speed, yielding improved A Spanish Air Force CL-415 showing its fore underbelly doors open. Italian Vigili del Fuoco refilling near Alghero, spilling excess water through underwing overflow ports productivity and performance. Due to the increased power of its pair of Pratt & Whitney Canadair PW123F turboprop engines, each capable of generating up to 1,775 kilowatts of thrust. These are located closer to the fuselage in comparison to the CL-215's arrangement. 6. While this repositioning would typically reduce lateral stability on its own, this is rectified via the addition of an inverted fixed leading edge slat forward of the right-hand horizontal stabilizer. Furthermore, winglets have been adopted on this model for the purpose of improving directional stability. 6. The CL-415 can scoop up to 6,140 L, 1,350 imp gal, 1,620 US gal, of water from a nearby water source, mix it with a chemical foam if desired, and drop it on a fire without having to return to base to fill its tanks. 6. The CL-415 was specifically developed to provide capability to deliver large quantities of suppressant in quick response to fires. This is stored within large tanks which are located mostly beneath the cabin floor within the hull, although a header tank above this level is present on either side of the fuselage. 6. The airframe is built for reliability and longevity, making extensive use of corrosion-resistant materials, predominantly treated aluminium that facilitates its use in salt water. According to Flight International, the CL-415 has good handling on the water, being relatively easy to operate in comparison with several other amphibious aircraft. 6. The CL-515 can hold up to 7,000 liters, 1,850 US gallons, and has a fill time of 14 seconds. 3. The aircraft requires 1,340 m, 4,400 feet, of flyable length to descend from 15 m, 49 feet, altitude, scoop 6,137 L, 1,350 imp gal, 1,621 US gal, of water during a 12-second fall 10-meter long, 1,350 feet, run on water at 70 knots, 130 kilometers per hour, 81 miles per hour, then climb back to 15 m, 49 feet, altitude. The aircraft can also pick up partial loads in smaller areas, and can turn while scooping if necessary. 32. Management of theater bombing system is centralized via a water status panel on the flight instrumentation, giving direct control to the pilots. Various dispersal patterns and sequences can be selected. A manually operated emergency dump lever is also present. Bypassing this system. 6. Bombardier have claimed that the type performs 6.9 water drops for every flight hours of the type. 6. The CL-415GR variant features higher operating weights, while the CL-415 multi-role model is available for purposes in a paramilitary search and rescue role and utility transport. Operational history. World operators of the CL-415 derived from its predecessor's nickname. The aircraft has acquired the name Super Scooper in light of its greatly enhanced performance as a water bomber and fire suppressor. In recognition of its abilities, the aircraft was awarded in 2006 the Beit Fuegos d'Oro, Gold Fire Extinguisher, by the Associación para la Promoción de Actividades Socio-Culturales, APAS, in Spain. The award citation in part read: "This is the most efficient tool for the aerial combat of forest fires, key to the organization of firefighting in a large number of countries." The continuous improvements to meet the needs of forest firefighting have made these aircraft the aerial means most in demand over more than 30 years. 33. By 1999, A total of 51 orders had been secured for the type. Operators have reportedly predominantly used it CL-415 for firefighting and maritime search and rescue purposes. 34 of the 95 built, 7 had reportedly been removed from service as a result of several accidents by December 2007. 35 variants. CL-415 the original model, 86 build. CL-415 MP Maritime Patrol version, 3 build. 36 CL-415 GR improved version for the Hellenic Air Force, capable of higher operating weights. 34 6 build. CL-415 EAF enhanced aerial firefighter. 37 in 2019. 6 CL-415 EAF Super Scooper aircraft were ordered by launch customer, Bridger Aerospace, due for delivery in April 2020. 38 DHC-515, formerly CL-515, updated version Viking Air of British Columbia, 18, later renamed as the DHC-515 and towed produced in Calgary, Alberta. 4 operators. Croatian Air Force CL-415 right before refilling in Ivago to Hellenic Air Force CL-415 refilling off the coast of Atlit to fight 2010 Mount Carmel forest fire in 2016/2019. There were 164 in service CL-215 and CL-415s in 11 countries. 39 French Sécurité Civile CL-415 dropping water CL-215T/415 in service as of mid-2016 country current fleet, 40, on order operators Canada 642019 figures, all others 2016 air spray. Buffalo Airways, Colair Group, Government of Newfoundland and Labrador, Service Area and Governmental, Quebec, Longview Aviation Asset Management Corporation, Longview Aviation Services Incorporated, Province of Manitoba, Ministry of Natural Resources, Ontario, Ministry of Environment, Saskatchewan, Croatia 62 Croatian Air Force /Croatian Fire Brigade 885th Firefighting Squadron 6 CL-415, 2 CL-515 in order France 1 2 Sécurité Civile Greece 178 Hellenic Air Force, 7 CL-415, 10 CL-215, 8 CL-515 on order, 41. Indonesia 06 on the 21st of June, 2019. The Indonesian Ministry of Defense announced it was purchasing 6 CL-515s for delivery in 2024. 28, 29, Italy 18 Vigili del Fuoco, 42, Malaysia 2 Malaysian Maritime Enforcement Agency, firefighting, 43, Morocco 6, 44, 6 Royal Moroccan Air Force Portugal 02 Portuguese Air Force purchased 2 CL-515s in 2022 to fight forest fires. Both units will be received in 2026. 45. Spain 25 Spanish Air and Space Force operates 14 CL-215 and 4 CL-415s. 43 Road Group of the Air Force United States 10 Los Angeles County FD San Diego County United States Forest Service Bridger Aerospace Total 16021 Accidents. Out of the 95 CL-415s built, 13 have been destroyed in the following accidents: 11 November 1997 S/N 2025 FZBFQ /Pelican 43 Sécurité Civile France, near La Ciotat, France. 46. The 16th of August 2003 S/N 2008 IDPCN SOM Italy, near Esign, Italy. 47. The 8th of March, 2004 S/N 2018 F